Welcome to CATtheMinion YouTube channel. My name is Theresa, but you can call me Cat. I am doing a January Leo reading. Loud vehicles going by. The reading that I'm doing is called Help Me, I Can't Afford a Reading. It's one of the readings that I offer. It's $9, and it can be patterned to mimic one of my other readings that's more involved and more expensive. So I have 6 cards here. 2 of them came out in the challenge position. This could be past, present, future. It could be part A, part B, part C. It could be like me, my ancestors, distant ancestors. But the main point is that this is the meat of the reading. These are clarifier cards. And normally this is going to be an oracle card to give a wrap-up or advice or overview. In this case, though, when I went to get the cards, I grabbed another tarot deck. Because I just grab whichever decks I feel are going to be needed or called to me. So I've got the Mini Rider-Waite here. I've got the Gilded Reverie Lenormand. Charme. And I've got the Legacy of the Divine Tarot. Now, interestingly, both of these decks are by Cairo Marchetti. And in theory, they would work well together, but I hardly ever use them at the same time. But today we are. So we're doing Leo. This is for anyone with a Leo sun, moon, rising, or Venus. If you're going to be affected by the moon visiting Leo twice in January, on the 1st to the 3rd, and again on the 29th and 30th. Okay, so the first trip that the moon takes in Leo, it's going to be before the new moon. Right, so we have a waning moon, new moon in Capricorn on the 13th. And then the second time the moon goes through Leo, it's going to be directly after the full moon in Cancer on the 28th. Okay, so we have a full moon that's like just given birth and is still like swelled. It's swell. Alright, so that's really the only thing going on with Leo in January. However, Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is in Capricorn until the 19th. So that new moon is going to be talking to the sun on the 13th. And the sun is going to be in Aquarius for the rest of the month starting on the 20th. So, what is Leo and Aquarius energy together? Let's take a look at the chart here. I don't know why I can't see anything all of a sudden. Okay. So when the sun is in Capricorn, there could be a 5 of Wands energy. There's conflict that might need to be resolved. I've reassigned the 5 of Wands Neptune energy, but just consider Capricorn and Leo energy together. It's sort of like ash. Like an ashy essence. Now, traditionally, the 4 of Pentacles is the sun in Capricorn, which I've also reassigned Neptune energy, interestingly enough. But traditionally, the Four of Pentacles is the Sun in Capricorn, and that's the, I'm hoarding something. So the way that I'm seeing the energy for what's happening with the Sun in the first 2/3 of January is potentially harboring a grudge. But we'll see how that plays out. But Leo with Aquarius energy. Let's see if I can find that on here. Interesting, okay. So let's take a look at this. The Seven of Swords is typically, traditionally, the moon in Aquarius. I've reassigned that Pluto energy, but for now, let's take a look at it. The moon in Aquarius. If the Seven of Swords is inverted, that tells me that I'm getting sun energy because the moon is upside down. When the Seven of Swords is inverted, it's like the truth is coming out to some extent. Like, I'm not gonna be like philandering around. There's going to be some sort of stop to like embezzlement, that kind of energy. Maybe not literally, but depending on what's going on. I think that's the only... And then if the Four of Cups is inverted as well, that's sort of coming out of apathy. It's like no longer wallowing in everything sucks. I'm not even gonna listen. And I think those energies together, right? The end of the ninja skulking around, and also just kind of like yuck. I haven't tried that, but I know I don't like it because everything else sucks. Again, with this idea of coming out of those energies combined with facing the concept of harboring a grudge earlier in the month. But again, we'll see what comes out in the cards. Alright, I think that's as much as I can find before flipping anything over. Alright, so, I mean, we have two cards in a challenge position, which goes into that sort of combat energy of the Five of Wands. But I also see from looking at the way that I've changed things that there's this idea that there's something deeply, basically something deeply suppressed in the subconscious. Right? You might not even know that you're biased against something. So you have the Cross. Right? It's very difficult. Starting out with the Six of Wands energy, Jupiter and Leo. Well, the Sun is going to be in Aquarius, where Jupiter is also going to be hanging out. Now, what's interesting is that Saturn, which rules Capricorn, where the Sun is going to be in the beginning of the month, is also in Aquarius. So no matter what, those energies are going to be kicked up. This is... everything sucks and it's hard. And we see that there's a shift happening because it's getting knocked over. Then we have 12. I was going to say this is Angry Birds, right? Gossiping. Seven of Pentacles. It's like, what's taking so long? It's like, I don't know, but this guy's always late. Just sort of coming up with ways to rip on somebody for like not showing up on time. Talking shit. And that's potentially more of that Five of Swords energy, but the Seven of Pentacles is also waiting for growth. And we see this with the number 12, which could be Hanged Man energy. I mean, birds bring information, but it does tend to be sort of gossipy. It's kind of like that Seven of Swords energy is like it's a little bit like Inception. Let me plant the idea in the subconscious and let it grow until you think it's the truth or it's your own idea. And we see there's something growing, and there's another bird coming into the little watering hole here. A house of cards. And I see that 12 is a third of the 36, so it's like we're breaking down what this weight is and seeing that it starts with, chattering. This is the star in this deck. This is about navigation. But look at this. We have this zodiac here. And I've been talking about this movement from Capricorn to Aquarius. All right, 16 is usually the tower, but in here it's the stars. We have 6 of Cups energy. That's the sun in Scorpio. And I already said with that... What did I say? I said something about needing to go deeper. Oh, because I said that I had changed the Plutonic... Changed the 7 to Pluto, which is Scorpionic energy. Now I can see there's red here, and there's red here, and there's some red here in the center too. This root issue of essentially letting whatever information comes in alter your course and perception without really the discernment of is this or is this not bullshit, but it's still weighing you down. It's sort of like runaway empathy or gullibility to some extent. 9 of Wands. Again, look at this, 36, 9 times 4, but it's also 12 times 3. Oh, this is the 10. My bad. That's the 10 of Swords. God damn it. The 10 of Wands. There, I got it finally. The 10 of Wands. Oh my god. This is very similar to the Cross, though. I can't believe it took me that long to say that. Look at this. It's all orange. Orange and yellow. Sacral and solar chakra. Here we have red and yellow. And we see the same color palette here. And here as well, even though it's largely red. We're dealing with the lower chakras. What's my core identity? What is my creativity? What are my shames, right? I'm being shamed, I'm being gossiped about. You know, am I afraid to be myself? Am I afraid to push forward with my own creativity? Who am I in my, like, in the stars? Like, what is my identity at, like, even down to, like, what is my horoscope? What is my purpose as a star being? Ten of Wands, there we go. Saturn in Sagittarius. Okay. South Node is Sagittarius, but Saturn's going to be in Aquarius. But there's this idea that I'm looking at something that's encompassing my whole world, and it's shifting. Really difficult. Feeling pressured. I'm under pressure. And it's like I've been bearing this cross. I've chopped it all into splinters, but it still weighs a lot. Like I'm breaking it down. And notice that this same diamond pattern here that's on the cross is actually on the wood of the birdhouse. I just heard bathhouse. Interesting. We have the Page of Swords inverted. Similar color scheme again, red, yellow, and this is kind of pink, but we could pretend that it's orange. He's got red hair here. Page of Swords inverted. I feel like I've seen this energy already in these readings. This is a 1 or an 11, but I see 10, 11, and that makes sense. I've I've assigned the Page of Swords Uranus energy, and we're talking about Uranus retrograde in the beginning of the month before Uranus goes direct in Taurus, which is Aquarian energy, which is where the sun's going to be, but not until about a week later. So usually in these readings that I'm doing this month, there's a card that comes out and tells me there's a specific day, right? I'm looking at I'm trying to say like three things at once. Gossip, not necessarily the truth. Truth is inverted. But the energy that the card is holding is saying the retrograde energy. But it's not necessarily I'm lying to myself. It could be my consciousness is being turned around, realigned to discover an internal truth after realizing that even after breaking down what's weighing me down, that it's still a bunch of heavy bullshit. So I see this as an 11. What's happening astrologically? What's in the stars on the 11th? I could also be saying what's in the stars on the 16th. The 16th, it could be a tower moment. 16 breaks down to 7. Which is the Chariot number. But here it's like the wheel, it's like, get in the car, losers. We're moving to Aquarius. We're gonna travel around. But anyway, let me see what's going on the 11th. Sun in Capricorn. Mercury in Capricorn. Pluto in Capricorn. Mars in Taurus. Uranus in Taurus. Gemini North Node. The moon in Sagittarius. Okay. So here, because it's on the 10th and the 11th that the moon is in Sagittarius. So we're looking at moon energy here. South Node is also Sagittarius. Okay. So again, there's this idea that I'm aligning my compass to tackle what's below, because the south is usually below. Because most of the time we're looking at the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere and you're watching that, then it might be that you're aligning towards this point. But the 10th and the 11th, 10, 11, the moon is in Sagittarius. We see, if this is representing the moon, that it's inverted, so it's Leo energy, the sun. And I know that's confusing, but it should make sense. The sun is in Capricorn, while the moon is in Sagittarius. It's like the moon in Sagittarius, to me, gives me this idea that, let's see if this energy. Okay, so the moon in Sagittarius is the 9 of Wands, which is what I tried to call this card first of all. The energy is like, are you tired of waiting How long are you going to hold on to this? I'm not supposed to be carrying this crap around. I'm supposed to be running around on the mountaintop with my sword. This is, you know, I want some freedom. I want some fresh air. I need this illumination. Like, I want to cut myself loose. I want to break free. And in this case, this I have a 10 mimicking a 9, and then I have 11 mimicking an 8. Well, what's the 8 of swords? It's Jupiter in Gemini. And what is that? The south and north node, north and south node. Okay. So before I run around in any more loops here and don't really tie this up, I'm going to flip over this card over here. It's the Six of Cups again in a challenge position. It's like I can rewrite my past essentially by going in and like writing over my own memories and saying, this is not who I am. And internally, I'm starting to have some kind of truth about myself that I want to stand up for, where I'm not going to be so pressured by what other people say or think of me. You know, like maybe I did things that were naive or stupid or asinine or disappointed people in the past, but I'm not going to live that. I'm going to realign myself to myself, even if I'm not that great at it yet. I'm only just starting out. But again, it's this. And also there's this idea of eclipse. Now, additionally, Mercury's going retrograde on the 30th, which is also in Aquarius. And I see, this makes me think of that a little bit. Especially, well, never mind. It's like I had to go deep, and now I'm bringing some light up to the surface, right? Instead of, like, I'm bringing this solar energy into my memories. I'm lighting it up. I'm gonna try to... I feel like I need to reiterate the message here so that it makes more sense, because I feel like I got lost in the details. It might not actually be. Someone else is holding a grudge against you, which is why they're gossiping. They've got it's either you're harboring a grudge against someone for gossiping or for filling your head with their chatter nonsense affecting your self-esteem, whether it was about you or not, and you releasing yourself from it and sort of defragging your memory from that. And there's also this, the flip side is your own behavior weighing you down, people gossiping about you to a point of extremity. Right? You're like, oh man, I really got myself into it this time, but I'm going to redeem myself into myself. But it's sort of like I don't have control over what other people think or remember of me, but I'm not going to wait around for people to tell me what my own self is. Okay? So hopefully that made a little bit of sense. If you get a personal reading, it's kind of expected that you have a question that you want answered. So the reading would be a little bit more pinpointed. It's not an open thing of saying what's going on for a whole month for an entire sign where thousands of people are going to be feeding into the energy. Alright, so if you want to get a personal reading, I have the complete list. That's pretty good. Maybe. Nope. In the description box of my infomercial video, which is going to be linked below this one, you could also email me for those, and I will get you those. I have coloring books and a dark poetry book there on Amazon. I have merch and prints and actual art items. If you want a little discount there on Etsy, I've got a code here. If you go through the link tree, the code should pop up at the top of the screen there. If you'd like to see more content like this, energy exchange, you can hit that tip jar, paypal.me/CATtheMinion. I also have Cash App and Venmo. What else am I doing? Oh, if you want a calendar in my DeviantArt prints under my logo, if you go to Art Gifts, you'll be able to get a calendar that has 14 different things of my artwork. So it's a lot of it's going to be psychedelic. There's a couple fashion designs, and then the Sleipnir drawing is one of those as well. All right, so don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment. Check out my playlists tab, my discussion tab, and stay groovy, and we'll see you later. Bye.